Good morning. So this reading is for Monday, September 22nd. And what I'm going to do is just pull a little bit around our past, our present, and our future. Okay, that's a lot. We're going to take them. Present energy. And future. And so this video is available on Rumble and YouTube, Tarot and Astrology with Michelle. And so looking here at the bottom of the deck, I'm getting the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is that quick impulsive action. So ready to move forward. So it feels like the eclipse brought some sort of inspiration, motivation, but I'm getting the word reckoning. So something happened here. If you removed something during this eclipse season, let go of a painful situation, healed from something, and finally let it go, it feels like that's what I'm picking up on. Somebody who went through that kind of cycle, because it feels like, okay, let's go. All of a sudden, there's momentum. After a very elongated pause, there is a speed up that's taking place. So let's get the past here. Emperor. So Aries energy, Mars, the god of war. And so getting a lot of passion out of that, but it's a lot of standing confident, standing tall. You might have been standing up for yourself in a situation here, because I'm getting this kind of energy of like a fighter with the Emperor. And so it is Mars, the god of war, but I don't usually pick up that kind of energy because Mars is very strategic. And so it is that leadership role, but I'm getting a sense here that whatever battle you fought leading up to this point, all the success that you gained, you've incorporated and really learned those lessons. So it's the pitfalls. You're not going to fall back into a situation like this because of all the work that you're doing and have been doing on yourself. You've learned a lot about just who you are and what you're capable of accomplishing. And then in the center here, we had 3 different cards come out. So I have the Knight of Cups, which is you going after what you want. I have the 9 of Swords, but being held back by stress, fear, anxiety, and the 7 of Cups. So the 7 of Cups is that kind of overwhelming energy. I'm not really sure what to do first. I'm not exactly sure what direction to go. And it feels like the Emperor here is where you took control of this entire situation because you were stuck, not really stuck, but it kind of felt that way, that almost a paralyzing fear or being held down by an old wound or something along those lines. And you said, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this. That's the fighter energy I'm getting out of this. It feels like you were fighting your own progress. In so many ways, you wanted to move forward. Emotionally, you wanted to move forward, but there was something mentally that was holding you back. And once you identified what that really was, and it feels like this eclipse cycle has really helped you, the 2 new moons in the sign of Virgo really helped you identify what needed to be healed. And it feels like that's the work that you did, because now I'm getting the 6 of Pentacles at the end of the past energy. And so it feels like it opened you up and it gave you this freedom and this power to say, you know what? I'm going to go after what I want. I'm not going to let anything hold me back. And if I have enough to share with other people, then I will. It just feels like you're not being held back at all. Not at all. And so in the current energy here, I'm getting the 4 of Wands, which is union. So it is a card of marriage. It's a reason to celebrate, some sort of celebration for all of the work that you've done. I am getting the moon. Oh, I love that. So the moon with your emotions coming through and the world closure. So whatever you left behind here, you might still be kind of getting it completely out of your mind, but I'm getting the sense that you're 99.9% done. If this is a lingering energy, it's more of an afterthought. It's not the first thought that you have. Anything here in the past that would trigger you, if it's coming up again in the current energy or some sort of circumstance where you feel like, okay, I usually get triggered by this. Is it coming up? Am I going to be affected that way? The answer is no, not with what I'm getting here from an emotional standpoint. This feels like a true reason to celebrate. Whatever you overcame here in the past was a battle hard won. And so when I look in the future energy and I get the Lovers here, Gemini, the 10 of Swords, so a painful ending, but it's done and it's over. I'm getting the Ace of Cups here. So the Ace of Cups, this feels like the recognition of healing. Not that you need to keep healing from the 10 of Swords. I'm getting the sense that you already did that. And this may be that kind of remnant that I was picking up on where it's a thought, but it's not your first thought. It's not triggering you anymore, which is really the ultimate goal here. And so with the Lovers and the Ace of Cups, the choices that you're making align with what you want. They're no longer aligning with some sort of wound that needs to be addressed. I am picking up very clearly that that's not affecting you in this way. Again, could be an afterthought. So you impulsively or instinctively make a decision, and only later do you think, oh, you know what, that normally would have sent me down a negative hole of emotions, and it would have left me feeling like I wasn't worthy, or something else that could have had you retreating from a situation. That's what it feels like. It feels like more of that afterthought recognition that this normally would affect you, and now it doesn't. So let's get more details here. So tell me about that Emperor. And all the work that you did here. And of course we have 2. 6 of Pentacles. So with the Emperor, I'm getting the Sun, Leo energy. And so a lot of fire coming through, a lot of taking control, identifying the issue and saying, that's it. I'm going to do something about it. I'm not going to let this control me. I'm not going to let this affect me going forward. And then here with the Knight of Cups, going after what you want, but being held back by some sort of fear and not really sure how to address it. So these 3 cards here that were showing up, clarifying those, I have the 2 of Cups here with the King of Cups. And so it feels like if you were moving towards union, whether it was union with another person, or this could be just your own internal healing, that 2 of Cups can be your own internal kind of alignment between your head and heart, masculine and feminine energies. And so here it feels like emotional growth, that you did all of the work. You're aligning with what you want, what you value, what you're seeking. And with the 6 of Pentacles here, I'm getting the 4 of Pentacles. So the 4 of Pentacles is, I'm going to hold on to everything that I have. I love the way this is coming through. So if part of the last cycle was you overgave into a situation, even if it was just to keep the peace, you gave away pieces of yourself. You let those boundaries become very flexible and almost non-existent. And it feels like now, because of all the work that you've done and all of the growth that you've gone through, the 4 of Pentacles says, I'm going to hold on to all of that. I'm not going to give up that again. I'm not giving up my peace, my safety, whatever the case is here. You're just not going to do it anymore. But if you have additional to share here with the 6 of Pentacles, you will. And so this is where you'll give where it makes sense and not where it doesn't. You're not going to let anybody walk all over you or take advantage of a situation if that was something that happened to you. Regardless, you're not letting anybody, you've entered this phase where people can meet you at your level. And if they're not willing to kind of meet you in the middle on something, you're not going to overgive. Tell me about that 4 of Wands. The Moon. And the World. So here in the past, for the 4 of Wands, so if it is about a union with another person, you had to let go of something here. You had to leave it in the cold. With that 5 of Pentacles, just completely abandon it altogether in order to have this reason to celebrate. So I am very clearly picking up a set of people that did some pretty heavy lifting during this eclipse cycle and did the work and are getting the rewards for it because it feels lighter, freer. I'm getting a lot of positive energy. I don't even know if I could express to you in words just how excited I am in the center of my chest. And I can tell you right now, it'll be gone by the end of this reading. It's just the way that you're coming across now and the way that you're ready to just move forward with that sense of anything I want, I can accomplish now. I don't have this weighing me down or holding me back or sitting over my head in some way. With the moon here, I'm getting the Justice card. So emotional balance. That's what's been happening. And that's what will continue. Once you find that emotional balance, you're going to do whatever it takes to protect it. The World is showing up here with the Knight of Pentacles. You learned the lessons connected to all of this. It's not that you're going to dismiss any of that. So what you're doing is you're incorporating all of that information, recognizing where you gave your power away in the past so it doesn't happen again. And it feels like now that you've aligned everything internally, now you're ready to move forward, but at a steady pace, planning for the future, incorporating these lessons. Didn't even get the words out. Okay. Tell me about the Ten of Swords. Ace of Cups. So with that Lovers card, that Gemini energy, so it could be about a relationship or the choices that you make. What I am getting here is the Hanged Man with the Nine of Swords. This is really coming across as the recognition. So if you were healing from a relationship issue in the past, could have been a romantic relationship, could have been in any area of your life here. This feels like, you know what? I did the work. The Hanged Man is a card of ascension. It's seeing things from that high level point of view. It's raising your vibration, kind of looking down objectively at the situation to identify what the issue was. Nine of Swords, where the fear was coming from, how it was holding you back, because this is all in your mind. This is your mind saying, no, 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 you're not ready for this. But in fact, you are. And so it feels like the recognition is really coming through. So something here, it feels more in the future energy, is going to bring something to the surface where normally you would be triggered, and it just doesn't feel like you will. And you're going to recognize that you're not triggered by it. That's the important piece. That's when you know you've healed. So with the Ten of Swords here, I'm getting the Emperor. This is what you healed. Some sort of painful ending, all of the negative energy connected to it. This is what you let go of. This is what you're not going to sacrifice anything for again. Not your happiness, not your power, nothing. And with the Ace of Cups here, I'm getting the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is you going after what you want. I love that with the new beginning because it feels inspired and motivated and just like truly understanding that you're ready for this and being excited about it, truly being excited about it. So this is a reading for Monday. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.